I got secrets that nobody knows.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Sport Breaks. Of course, I am your host, Dante Washington, back with you guys and gals for another episode. Of course, as always, before we get started, make sure that you are subscribed to Sport Breaks on Spotify, wherever you're getting your podcasting from. Also, make sure that you are downloading Sport Breaks on Spotify or wherever you're getting your podcasting from. But also make sure that you follow and like Sport Breaks on all social media platforms. Of course, I am here live right now on TikTok. If you need to get to any of my social media platforms, just hit me up on here. You can click whatever link. It'll lead you to the other platforms, and you can definitely like, follow, subscribe. Definitely hit that bell where there's a bell, especially on YouTube, so you'll be notified whenever I decide to go live or drop an audio, video, or whatever I decide to do. And as always, again, make sure that you leave a comment and make sure it is nice of nature, very respectful. I will definitely get back to you because you are joining the conversation, and I got to respect that. Let's go. Of course, before I get started with my sports, so much going on in the NBA. Of course, it was a trade deadline today at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, we are a few days away from the Super Bowl. And as always, we got a lot going on in hockey. PGA started their event today as well. It's just a lot going on in the sports world, but it is Black History Month, and I want to start my shows off with someone that was impactful in Black history. Of course, me being from South Carolina, Lake City to be exact. I did a few people from Lake City. I did one other person as well on my last show. Today's show, I am going to do none other than Athena Gibson. If you have not known, or if you are from South Carolina and you don't know, Athena Gibson was born in South Carolina. She was born in Silver, South Carolina on August the 25th, 1927. She is a world-renowned tennis player. She blazed her own trail in the sports of tennis in the 1950s. And she broke a lot of racial barriers as a professional golfer as well. But Athena Gibson moved from South Carolina to Harlem with her family earlier on after being born. But like I said, she was born in Silver, South Carolina. She played tennis. She won U.S. national championships in 1950. She also won Wimbledon in 1951. She won 10 straight matches, championships, to be exact, from 1947 to 1957. She was just a great somebody, a great athlete. Of course, she was African American, doing it in a time where a lot of African Americans were not allowed to do much. But she also had success on the ATA tournaments, paving the way for her to attend Florida A&M University on a sports scholarship. She graduated from the school in 1953. Just looking at her period point blank, Miss Athena Gibson did a lot for the sport of tennis. And again, she was from South Carolina. In her latter years, after she retired in 1971, she was inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame. She stayed connected to sports, and whatnot. But in 1975, she serviced 10 years as a commissioner of athletics in the state of New Jersey. She was also a member of the Governor's Council of Physical Fitness. So again, she was doing a lot of different things. In her latter years, her health started to fail her. Money started to dwindle. One of another great tennis players in Billie Joe King stepped in and helped her out tremendously. But again, her health started to fail. And on September 28th, 2003, the world lost Miss Athena Gibson to respiratory failure. She passed in East Orange, New Jersey. But again, Athena Gibson, my Black History moment. She hails out of Silver, South Carolina. Again, born in 1927 on August 25th. What a great moment and a great woman to celebrate. All right. Of course, now getting to sports, period, point blank. Looking at, and I'm a gentleman, looking at the NCAA women's rankings as of right now. Of course, I will give you the top five. Top five, of course, number one team in the country, South Carolina Lady Gamecocks. Shout out to the Lady Gamecocks. They are still undefeated at 21-0. Iowa brings it in at number two. They are 21-2. NC State is third. They are 20-2. Colorado is now fourth, sitting at 19-3 on the season. And the fifth ranked team in the country is the Lady Buckeyes from Ohio State. They are 19-3. On the men's side, the UConn Huskies are ranked number one. They are 21-2. Purdue is in at number two. They are also 21-2. The UNC Tar Heels are third in the country. They are sitting at 18-5. Kansas is at 18-5 as well, ranked fourth in the country. I think Kansas lost the other night in overtime, so they may fall sometime later on when the polls come back out. But Houston brings up the fifth spot. They are 20-3 on the season. Looking at the PGA Scottsdale, the TPC Scottsdale event that is going on right now. Crazy story. I was at work. I am a big avid sport breaks, DraftKings guy. Of course, I'm the owner of Sport Breaks, but I'm a big DraftKings guy. But I was hard down working today to the point that I did not set my lineup. Oh my God. I had a little temper tantrum with myself because I should have set some type of alarm or something like that. But it happens. I only lost like $2, but the fact that I could have gained anywhere upwards from 2,500 to whatever I would have possibly won kind of hurt today. But nonetheless, looking at, like I said, the TPC Scottsdale event, it is in Scottsdale, Arizona, and it will be from today. It will go on through the 11th of February, with the purse being $8.8 million. Good money, real good money. But right now, as the leaderboard sits, Mr. Thiegler is at 5 under par. Lowry is coming in at second. They are 3 players at 4 under. Lowry, Fitzpatrick, and Kim sitting at the second spot. And for the fifth spot, Jordan Spieth is in at 3 under par thus far. It is pretty early in that event, so a lot of things can change. A lot of golfers that can definitely score and shoot some low numbers. So definitely want to keep your eye on that, if you are an avid golfer. Yesterday in the NHL ranks, only had 3 games yesterday, and it looks like the Rangers beat the Lightning 3-1. The Maple Leafs beat the Stars 5-4, and the Wild beat the Blackhawks 2-1. Today we have a handful of games as well. We have the Flames taking on the Devils at 7. The Capitals taking on the Panthers at 7 as well. The Canucks taking on the Brewers at 7. The Avalanche will take on the Hurricanes in Raleigh at 7. The Jets will take on the Flyers at 7. And the Lightning will take on the Islanders at 8 p.m. Last game on the slate will be the Golden Knights taking on the Coyotes at 9 o'clock. Looking at the standings thus far with the NHL, of course, the Bruins are leading the Atlantic Division on the Eastern Conference side. They are 31-10. But the Panthers are right there. The Florida Panthers are right there at 31-15. They have both played 50 games thus far. In the Metropolitan Division, on the same side, of course, it is the Eastern Conference. The Rangers are sitting in first place at 32-16, and the Hurricanes are right behind them at 28-16. Looking over on the Western Conference side, we have in the Central Division, we have the Avalanche leading that division. Looks like by half a game, they are sitting at 32-15. The Stars are at 31-14, right behind them. Again, they have both played 51 games thus far. The Pacific Division on the Eastern Conference side, the Western Conference side, the Canucks are leading that division at 34-11. And the Golden Knights are right behind them at 30-15. So again, hockey is definitely wide open as well. If you have not known, hockey has just got done with their All-Star game as well. The NFL had so many events for its Pro Bowl. I want to know your take on that. We'll get to that in a second. I definitely want to know your take on that. I think it's a lot of stuff that was going on with the Pro Bowl. I want to see that old action of like the quarterback passing type things and the fastest man competition, and then I want to see a better game. But they have a lot of events. So tell me, like really hit me up and tell me what you liked about the Pro Bowl, what you didn't like, what you feel like they could do different. Definitely hit me up in the comments, whether you are hitting me up here, whether you hit me up on Facebook, whether you are hitting me up on Instagram, whether you hit me up on X, whether you hit me up on YouTube, or whether you're listening to the regular vocal podcast and you're downloading that on Spotify. Hit me up and let me know about the Pro Bowl. All right. Looking at the NBA, woo. So many trades came down. But before I get to what came down with the trades, let me give you scoreboard and what's going on for today. Scoreboard as of yesterday, last night, Raptors beat the Hornets 123-117. The Cavaliers beat the Wizards 114-106. The Hawks lost to the Celtics 125-117. The Warriors got a win against 76ers 127-104. The Spurs lost to the Heat 116-104. The Pistons won against the Kings 133-120. And the Pelicans got a win over the surging Clippers 117-106. Looking at what is going on today, Spurs will take on the Magic at 7. The Warriors will take on the Pacers at 7. The Cavaliers will take on the Nets at 7:30. The Mavericks will take on the Knicks at 7:30. The T-Wolves will take on the Bucks in Milwaukee at 8 o'clock. The Bulls will take on the Grizzlies at 8 o'clock. The Jazz will take on the Suns at 9. The Pistons will travel to my Portland Trail Blazers at 10 o'clock. And lastly, the Nuggets will take on the Lakers also at 10 o'clock. And in that game, they will be unveiling the Kobe Bryant statue that will be outside of Crypto.com Arena. It's kind of crazy saying that name, but with these naming rights, it's it is what it is. But nonetheless, that statue will definitely embody the Mamba mentality. It has been a few years since we lost Kobe Bryant, and also the rest of the people that were on that chopper flight, including his young daughter Gigi. If you can see through my camera right now, it literally gave me chills just to think back on that day and that tragedy. But the Lakers are definitely going to show Kobe Bryant and his family, his widow, so much love tonight. I'm very sure of it. I will try my best to stay up to see the unveiling of the statue, but it's a 10 o'clock game here on the East Coast. It is going to be a tough task, but I am definitely going to try to stay up and watch that. So that is the scoreboard and the schedule for tonight. Looking at the standings, and of course I will start off with the Eastern Conference side. The Celtics are sitting in the one spot at 39-12. Cavaliers come up behind them. The Bucks, Knicks, who are surging right now, but who has a lot of knick-knack injuries. But they did a lot today in the trade world. We will get to that in a second. And the 76ers round out the top 5. They are trying to hold serve until their main man in the middle gets back. He is out at least 4 to 6 weeks, and he will be reevaluated then. And I'm talking about Joel Embiid. Looking at the Western Conference side, the Thunder, the Timberwolves, the Nuggets, and the Clippers all share the top spot with the same record almost. Where the Clippers are technically fourth, they are a half game back of the Thunder, Timberwolves, and the Nuggets, who all three sit at 35-16. Clippers sit at 34-16 now. But the fifth place team is the Suns right now. Currently, they sit at 30-21. Like I said, it was so much going on in the NBA. So many trades. I don't know who you like. Of course, if you don't know, I love my Portland Trail Blazers. It was a pleasure of mine to have been in the Rose Garden myself a few years back. Definitely looking to go back again, even though we are not the same caliber team that we once were. But trade deadline was today. Trade deadline was at 3 o'clock, and a lot of teams look to maybe bolster their roster, maybe pick up one or two things that can help them move forward, and maybe they're just trying to make cap room. The Lakers were one of the teams that they were talking, hey, let's make some moves for LeBron. Don't know if they could have done it, but they wanted to, I can imagine. But the Lakers did not do anything this trade session. I don't think they had the assets to accommodate anything, and they would be a damn fool to get rid of Austin Reeves right now with the way he's playing ball. But looking at the trades, yesterday, the Celtics landed Xavier Tillman in exchange for Lamar Stevens and a second-round pick, or 2 second-round picks. One was in 2027 from the Hawks, and another in 2030 from the Mavs. But today got going. It got going real quick, real hard, real fast. The Pistons got Simone Fontioni, and the Jazz received Kevin Knox, future second-round pick, and rights to Gabriela Prasadi. Then we had the 76ers trading House to the Pistons. Daniel House Jr., 2024 second-round pick, and cash considerations went to the 76ers for a 28 second-round pick. Then we had a decent trade that sent Kelly Olynyk and Ochai Agbaji to the Raptors. I think the Raptors stole this trade like crazy. Kelly Olynyk to me is one of a decent enough big man who, whether you start him or whether he comes off the bench, he is a solid 12 and 8 type of guy. He's going to rebound the ball. He's going to be a force in the middle. He's not a dominant force, but he is definitely a decent guy. And Ajabaji, he's a baller, man. I really think he's a great young baller. The Jazz got back Otto Porter Jr., who is a decent player as well. Kira Lewis Jr. and a 2024 first round pick. Then we looked at the Mavs and done the swapping picks. The Mavs swap picks with the Thunder on the scale of the 2024 first round pick was given to the Mavs, and the 2028 first round pick was given to the Thunder. So, the Mavs look to try to get some things going in the offseason as well. Of course, they have their two guard stud scenario with Luka and Kyrie. Now you look at them getting another first round pick coming up in this year's draft, and it's going to get crazy. Then the Nets went and acquired Dennis Schroeder from the Raptors, but they sent Spencer Dinwiddie there. Spencer Dinwiddie goes to the Raptors. Dennis Schroeder and Thaddeus Young go to the Nets. So you look at the Raptors and Spencer Dinwiddie, Kelly Olynyk, and Ajabaji. That's 3 really, really, really decent enough players. I don't know. Spencer Dinwiddie is that up and down guard to me. I think with the Nets, he should have been the catalyst and the leader. But Cam Thomas has pretty much shown himself to be that guy in Brooklyn right now. So I could see why they got rid of Spencer Dinwiddie. So again, it was just a lot going on. The Knicks did a lot as well. Let me see if I can pull up what the Knicks did. I was literally looking at the transactions on the NBA site. They did not do me any justice with things. But yeah, the Knicks added Bogdanovich and Alex Burke from the Pistons, although they gave up Quentin Grimes. Evan Fournier is basically an unload of an expiring contract, and Malachi Flynn, 2 second-round picks, and also Ryan Arcadia Kona, however you pronounce his name. I'm very sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but to me, that was the biggest thing of the day. Bojan Bogdanovich and Alex Burke going to the Knicks. So you look at Jalen Brunson, you look at OG Anunoby, you look at just that core of players that the Knicks have right now. And as I stated, the Knicks are in the top 5 in the Eastern Conference right now. The Knicks are sitting in the 4th spot. That is without their big man, Julius Randle. When Randle comes back from that shoulder injury, along with Bogdanovich, along with OG Anunoby, along with Alex Burke, and Jalen Brunson, I'm fit to go ahead and say this. Jalen Brunson is playing at a NBA MVP consideration level this year. Some may not want to agree with me when I say that, but if you look at what Jalen Brunson has been doing, look at his numbers, Jalen Brunson has been balling. He was out, I think, the last game, but they have some knick-knack paddywhack injuries. But I'd rather them have them knick-knack paddywhack injuries right now and get their core together to make that playoff push right now. And I will say this: looking at the Knicks and looking at the Celtics, and knowing what the Cavaliers have done the last 16, 17 games, knowing that the Bucks are not who we want to think they are right now, the Knicks are contenders right now. Let's go ahead and say it. The Knicks are legit contenders to knock the Boston Celtics off in order to get to the finals this year right now. I really, and I'll be honest, I don't believe that the Cavaliers can withstand what they're doing right now. Of course, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, they have shooting with Max Strus. Karis LeVert is a guy. Evan Mobley is that dude. They have a lot of talent, but I'm just not sold on them being able to win 4 games in a 7-game series against the likes of the Knicks or the Celtics. Or for that matter, having to play a team like, let's say the Pacers or somebody in the first round. I'm just not there with that. So I like the Knicks. The Knicks, for me, doing this trade season, and it has come and gone, they, to me, has won the trade look. They have gotten a A- for me. Bogdanovich and Alex Burke and OG Anunoby in the earlier stages of the season, of the trade season. You get defense, and you get scoring, and that to me says quite a lot. Of course, like I said, a lot of other trades. Patrick Beverley went to the Bucks. Just it was so much going on. Yeah, Bucks acquired Patrick Beverley in a trade. So the Bucks get better defensively immediately, which that's something they need. And I don't know if it's Doc Rivers. I don't know if it's them getting accustomed to Damian Lillard. I don't know what it is with the Milwaukee Bucks. But we all know Giannis will definitely be Giannis going forward. But I don't know. And they gave up one of the Lopez brothers. The good thing they didn't give up the good brother. But yeah, that's cool. Gordon Hayward moved round 2, so it's a lot. PJ Washington moved as well. A lot of trades went on in the NBA. So again, whatever team that you like, if your team didn't do anything, let me hear about it. If your team did something that you feel like they shouldn't have done, definitely let me hear about it as well. Or if your team just sat still. I know it's a lot of Laker fans that did not like the no move, but just have to weather that storm, seriously. So yeah. Moving right along. Of course, we get to the meat and potatoes of this live, of the concept of this live, for the reason for this live. Of course, it is Super Bowl 58. Super Bowl 58 will be here in a matter of Friday, Saturday, 2 days in the wake up. February the 11th, 6:30 p.m. San Francisco 49ers, sitting at 14-5, is technically the away team in this affair. They will be against the Kansas City Chiefs, who sit at 14-6. Of course, last year's Super Bowl winner. The 49ers seek to win their first championship since 1994. and also gain their 6th championship as a franchise to tie the Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers as the overall Super Bowl winners in the NFL. Will they do it? Well, we will see. Will the Chiefs get their back-to-back championship, first ever since the Patriots did it in the early 2000s? Will they get a ring again? We will see. Y'all know I love stats. I love them. I love them like I love them. I love them like anybody love cake, not just a fat kid. Looking at the Chiefs, of course, Patrick Mahomes is the reason. 4,183 yards on the season. Travis Kelce is his go-to 984 yards on the season. Yes, it was a down season for him, but nonetheless, a decent enough season. And then when you say a down season for Travis Kelce, is like, all right, the guy usually gets 100 plus yards, 100 plus catches, 1,000 plus yards receiving. It is what it is. San Francisco on the other side of things. Brock Purdy, what a story. Mr. Irrelevant. I need y'all to understand that for a second. Mr. Irrelevant. He was the dead last person picked in the draft that he was in. And he is now in the Super Bowl. Let that marinate for like 2 seconds. 4,280 yards on the season. Of course, Mr. Christian McCaffrey, 1,459 yards rushing. And Brandon Ayuk led the receiving corps with 1,342 yards. So dynamic. So dynamic. And just looking at them as a team, looking at their team rank, they rank 3rd, San Francisco, in points. They rank 2nd in yards overall. They rank 1st in rush yard average. They rank 3rd in rush yards total. And this is the NFL, okay? They are 8th in rush attempts. They are 4th in rush average. They are 6th in passing yards. Let that sink in for a second. But here's another key factor. They are dead last in passing attempts. Passing average, they are 1st at 9.3. This is a scary, scary good team. And the scary part about the whole thing is Kyle Shanahan, to me, is one of the gurus that nobody wants to give him praise for. Yes, he's his daddy kid. His daddy was a real sharp knife himself. But Kyle Shanahan has a tree that cannot be denied. And just the things that he do, the motion that he uses things motion wise, and it dictates coverages. It dictates who is going to be guarding who, rather it be the defense is running zone, rather it is they're running man to man, or a mixture of coverages. Kyle Shanahan is almost an offensive play called genius. Seriously. You look on the opposite side of the ball. San Francisco is 6th in sacks. They are 2nd in first downs. They are 3rd in rushing first down. So that means on first down, they are the 2nd rated team in the NFL with getting plus yards and rushing on first down. They are third in the NFL. So they are accustomed to running the ball on first down because, hey, Mr. McCaffrey is back there. And they are likely to gain plus yards with McCaffrey is back there. On the opponent side, they are first in having the opposition rush the ball. But that is a good thing. On the defensive side, they are third in allowing rushing, meaning they're in the top 5 defensively. They are 7th in average play. They are 8th in yards. They are 3rd in points. This team is stout. This team is literally legit. But you look on the other side of that coin as well. And again, defensively for the Kansas City Chiefs, they are 6th in points. They are 7th in yards. They are 9th in plays. They are 4th in average amongst plays. But they are 21st in rush yards. And you are going against the number 3 team in rushing yards. To me, that says that Christian McCaffrey will have a field day. He will definitely have a field day, but here is the other side to that coin. Kansas City is 2nd defensively in passing yards. They do not allow many passing yards. They're 4th in pass attempts. And here's another key factor. Again, I tell you, I like stats. They are 2nd in sacks. They are the 2nd rated team in sacking the quarterback. Chris Jones and company are going to definitely have to put pressure on Brock Purdy if they want to even minutely strive to control this rushing attack of San Francisco. And that's just all to the matter. We know Patrick Mahomes, we know Brock Purdy can both pinpoint, put their passes where they need to. But it's going to definitely come down to who makes mistakes and who doesn't. Another crazy stat about these two quarterbacks, and to me, they are the key and focus of this game. They both like to keep their jersey clean. Patrick Mahomes in these playoffs has only been sacked twice. Brock Purdy has only been sacked 3 times in his playoffs. So that is, to me, that is going to be the whole key to this game. Which quarterback does not make mistakes? If one of them is throwing interceptions, if one of them is getting sacked and knocking their run game off of its rhythm, it spells disaster, because they are both stout enough defensively to do a whole lot. And I do mean a whole lot. Just plainly looking at Kansas City's secondary, and if you have not heard anything about their secondary, L'Jarius Sneed, Trent McDuffie. L'Jarius Sneed is probably the best cornerback that you've never heard about, or if you've heard about, you're like, yeah, he okay. But L'Jarius Sneed is probably he was definitely snubbed for the Pro Bowl this year. If you look at what he's done, who he's covered, what he's given up, he is probably, like I said, he's definitely in the top 3 cornerbacks in the NFL right now. And then on the other side, Trent McDuffie is definitely no slouch at all. So to me, that is definitely going to be key because, like I said, it is definitely going to come to quarterback play. But you look at Brock Purdy on the other side, he has not turned the ball over extensively crazy during his tenure. But if the Chiefs want to repeat, L'Jarius Sneed and Trent McDuffie are going to have to apply pressure. One is going to have to follow. They're going to have to follow Brandon Ayuk all game. And like I said, Kyle Shanahan is an offensive play calling genius. He is not going to allow you to follow Deebo Samuel all game. Deebo Samuel may be in the backfield. Deebo Samuel may be out left, right, wide. He may be in the slot. He may be in motion half the plays that he is on the field. But Brandon Ayuk is going to be that receiver that is going to have to be dealt with. His route running, his separation is just phenomenal. And then on the flip side of things, you have to deal with George Kittle. George Kittle up the middle, George Kittle down that seam. He is going to open up different things for them. So to me, I'm telling you, it is about quarterback play in this Super Bowl. Just like on the flip side of things, Patrick Mahomes has to figure out. He has to figure out who is who in this game, and what I mean by who is who, he has to figure out which receiver is the hottest in this game. Not sure who will be playing as far as their inactives, but looking at the likes of like Kadarius Toney, he may not even play, and that's because he won't hush, he won't shut his mouth and stuff like that. But he may not even play. But MVS, of course, is a deep threat. They definitely have to come play. Now looking at the injury report, San Francisco has nobody on the injury report, and the major issue for the Chiefs definitely will be all-pro guard Joe Thuney. He was inactive against Baltimore, and it is looking like he may be inactive for the Super Bowl. Nick Al-Girardi, starting left guard as well. He may be on some injury stuff as well. Willie Gay was a late scratch the other Sunday afternoon. He is questionable as well. And like I said, the aforementioned Kadarius Toney, he may be a healthy scratch. So that means the likes of Clyde Edwards-Helaire out the backfield, MVS, like I said, they will have to step it up, because we know what George Kittle, not George Kittle, but we know what Travis Kelce is. We know what Isaac Pacheco is. We know what Rasheen Rice is, and that is, to me, the issue. And it's looking like Mecole Hardman may not play due to injury as well. So it's a lot of things stacked against Kansas City, but I cannot and will not bet against Patrick Mahomes right now. Of course, I know plenty of people that are San Francisco 49er fans that I have been cool with for a long time. I know one or two out of Wedgefield where I was raised up in, and I know one guy from Wedgefield as well. He's a Kansas City fan. But if I had to put my money on it, which I do have money on it, of course, If you're into betting, definitely go to DraftKings. If you do not know about DraftKings, hit me up. I will send you a link that will get you $20 DK bucks where you can use on anything on DraftKings that you want to. But make sure that you are betting responsibly. Make sure you not chase those bets. Make sure you don't chase your losses. Definitely don't try to chase those wins, and only bet what you can afford to lose. I bet that for sure. So I'm definitely betting. I'm betting on the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs in this game. I have the Chiefs in this game. I have Pacheco winning the MVP. I feel like Pacheco will probably get 2 tutties on the ground, maybe 1 passing as well. I have the Chiefs winning this game 35-24. Yeah, 35-24. I have them winning this game 35-24. That is my Super Bowl outlook, my Super Bowl wager, my Super Bowl pick. It's going down. All right. So again, make sure you guys and gals all subscribe to Sport Breaks on Spotify or wherever you're getting your podcasting from. Make sure you hit that download button as well, so any episode I drop, whether it's a live venture, whether it's just the audio, you'll be able to download that and listen to that in the confines of your earpiece. Also, make sure you go and follow and subscribe to Sport Breaks on all social media platforms. Again, I'm live right now on TikTok. My links are on my main page, Coach Peanut 7. You can hit whatever link and it'll guide you to the next place, and you can subscribe and keep going and keep going and keep going until you subscribe and like everything. Wherever there's a bell, particularly on YouTube, make sure you hit that bell and subscribe there. Leave me a like, leave me a comment. Again, it is all free. It is all support, and it shows plenty of love. You know, it is what it is. Support me, and I definitely support you. If you got something going on, send me that too, and I'm going to definitely check you out. Period. All right? It's like as always, people. If it ain't Sport Breaks, it ain't knowledge world. Peace.